singing Christmas carols.
What happened?
They jumped out and got me. Icy road. Right about there. Here, let me jump in.
Bob and Jackie for the rescue.
I did nothing but like moral support. Oh look, fox tracks.
So whimsical.
Totally whimsical.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Somebody's gonna get broken.
We're free!
Video that for Insta?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I would also just like to make it obvious how close we were to hitting this fire hydrant. Whoops. Hello. Happy Vlogmas. So I don't think I'm gonna do this every day, but I don't know, I'm having fun and I feel like it's helping me get into the festive mood. So I am taking some videos. I took some videos this morning before Sean and I went skiing, and I'll put those in. I thought something that would be funny would be to share a little bit about the culture of the town that I grew up in by going through some sort of ski slang when I do these videos. But first, I just want to show off this amazing sweater. This is a sweater that is authentic from the 80s. I stole it from my mom, and you guys, it is Santa flying over downtown Denver. It's incredible. Other things that I've been doing a lot of gift knitting, so I'm just going to go over a couple of those things right now. Mom, if you're watching, you can keep watching. Nothing is for you that I finished. So this is for my niece. This is for my niece Eva, my sister's daughter. She really, really loves pink. This is the Escher hat by Ella Austin. I've knit it a bunch of times. I think it's really, really easy. And this is all just scrap yarn that I had in my stash. You can see at the top I ran out of yarn, and so I started incorporating this sort of purple motif, which I think is pretty cool, and I'm going to put a purple pom-pom on the top to just sort of bring it together, I guess, question mark? Who knows? I also finished a Escher hat for my nephew, Henry. So this is his hat. Again, this is in some scrap yarn that I have. I don't even remember exactly what kind of yarn it is. It's all DK weight, but this green yarn I actually used in my in one of my sweaters, which I'm forgetting the name of the sweater now. I don't remember. But it's the sweater that's really popular by Caitlin Hunter that has like the check marks and the like shields under it. So yeah, this I used in that sweater and then got to use it the scraps. I'm gonna put a blue pom-pom on the top of this for Henry, and it's so little. It's just like knitting these hats is so fun. It literally only takes me like an hour because they're so fast. An hour is an exaggeration, but it takes me one day, like not more than a day. So, for their dad, I have also been using the scraps up of the sweater vest that I knit for Bob to knit their dad this awesome hat. He really likes really woolly wool, and so I thought that he would actually really enjoy this hat. This is the October hat. Yeah, it is the October hat by Sloan Rosenthal, and it is knit in Brooklyn Tweed Shelter. I've really liked this hat so far. I think it would be a really good hat for beginners, especially because it has, it's sort of like you get to learn how to do cables, but it's a really easy cable motif. So once you sort of do it once, you don't have to look at the pattern anymore. And yeah, I really, really love it. It's turning out really well. I ran out of yarn, so I do have to buy a little bit more yarn just to put, I think, one more of these motifs and then do the crown decreases, but pretty cool. And then the next thing is that I finally finished Bob's sweater vest. So this is knit. This is Hunter by Jared Flood. I'm calling it my Into the Pensive sweater vest, and it is knit mostly out of WZ felt and wool, so wool sort of from sheep that are from the place that I grew up, which is Steamboat Springs, Colorado. But then just the armbands I ended up having to do in Brooklyn tweed because I ran out of the other one. So here it is. It's totally done. I am really excited about it. I do have to block it one more time to make it a little bit longer and less thin, which I think will be really easy. But yeah, pretty much all I had to do was pick up, I had to sew the tops together and then pick up and knit the neckband and the sort of armband. So it was super easy, and I'm really glad that it's done, and I'm really excited for him to open it. The only other thing that I have been cracking away at that I haven't already talked about is my Montana Mountain cowl, which I am actually going to be calling the Hogwarts Library cowl. All of these, this motif here kind of reminded me of like books that have been stacked on shelves, and so I thought that was really cool. This is knit out of Spin Cycle Dyed in the Wool in their Rusted Rainbow colorway, and then also Sun Valley Fibers in this like really beautiful colorway that I think is called 006, but I've talked about it before. So from my last podcast, I left this in for my last podcast, so I have actually knit a lot of this, but I still have quite a ways to go before I put the twist in it and then graft it together. So I'm really enjoying this. It's kind of like a mindless knit now, but still allows for some fun. So that's really all the knitting that I have to share. Now I just want to talk about some skiing culture. So I thought it would be fun, because I am from a ski town, to go through some of the like wacky slang that we have. So I think with any kind of culture, there's going to be like certain slang that sort of sets locals apart from people who are visiting or people who don't often do the sport or activity that you're talking about. I noticed this a lot when I first got into rock climbing and realized that there is like a lot of slang with that as well. But since I grew up in skiing culture, I thought it would be really, really fun to go over some skiing culture slang, which is hilarious. So I'm going to talk about 3 today that I experienced this morning while I went skiing with my husband, Sean. So the first one, and I think is like one of the best slangs that we have, is trenching the Roy. So corduroy, after the cats and snow cats go up and groom a run, they leave behind these lines in the snow that kind of remind you of the lines that you see in corduroy fabric. So when we say trenching the Roy, that means that you are just like skiing really, really, really hard, making like really huge turns that are leaving big trenches in the snow, like you're just skiing really, really hard on that corduroy, and you're just having a great day. It's like the perfect groomer day. Like if you have a groomer day and you're going out and it's like going to be really, really good groomer skiing, then you say like, I'm going to go trench the Roy. Anyway, the next one is bony. So bony means that there isn't a ton of snow cover yet, and so there's like a bunch of like sticks and rocks and things like that that are like sticking out of the snow, and sometimes you don't really see it. So like if it has just snowed a little bit but it's still like early season, then you might be like skiing and then like hit a rock or like a stick or something that's picking up, and then you know you get to the bottom and you're like, man, that was bony. Like I maybe should have been wearing my rock skis on that one. And rock skis, I guess, is like a pair of old like shitty skis that you've skied for a while that like aren't really great anymore, and you're like totally fine with the bottom being busted by all the rocks and stuff that you hit when it's still pretty bony. The next one is catwalk. So Sean and I, you can say catwalk or cat track. It's like kind of, people will know what you're talking about if you say either one of those. But essentially that is a like really annoying, flat, long, pretty narrow run that you usually have to get to, like to go from one part of the mountain to the other. We had to ride a catwalk today that was after, it's called groomer, so it's like after you come down one of the runs, it's like a black, you have to go on the catwalk, and it's usually something that you have to like ski across, or like if you're a snowboarder you have to like unstrap and like walk across, because they're just like long, flat, boring, and really like just get you from A to B. But yeah, so that's a catwalk. So yeah, I just thought it would be fun to like share some of our culture. The other thing, that I should talk about, that was a great thing that we had today, is a Bluebird day. So a Bluebird day is when there's like not a cloud in the sky. The sky is completely blue. It's usually like really crisp, just like amazing sunny, like the sun is just beating down on you. And with that, it's also that like the skiing is really good, usually for groomers. So a Bluebird day is like when it snowed a lot the day before, the night before, and then they groomed the trails, and it's just like perfect corduroy on everything, but it's like really sunny, and just like one of the most perfect days of skiing you can have. It's like usually not a powder day, because usually powder days it's still snowing, and so you don't have that like perfectly blue sky, but I would say like a Bluebird day comes in second only to like a really deep powder day. So yeah, Bluebird day, trenching the Roy, Boney, and catwalk. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I will try to put out videos as often as I can. I should be writing a paper right now, but I'm deciding to do this instead. Alright, happy Festivus!
The Yampa Valley.